The day has finally arrived. Our wait is over, and so it is for the drivers. On the streets of São Paulo, Brazil, the 2010 IZOD IndyCar Series opener is less than half an hour away from the green flag. The streets of São Paulo, Brazil, the third largest city in the world. They've constructed a 2.6-mile, 11-turn circuit for today's season opener. A slippery section of the track, however, yesterday postponed qualifying until today. The section included the area at the start-finish line, and drivers just couldn't get any grip coming off turn number 11. Here's Elio Castro-Neves fighting it in fifth gear. Ryan Briscoe was one of several drivers to spin and brush the wall on the front stretch. So Brian Barnhart, the president of competition for the IZOD IndyCar Series, brought in some heavy equipment overnight and ground down a section of the track to give it more grip for the drivers. Jan, the drivers had a short practice period this morning before qualifying.
And Bob, of course, those changes on that straightaway transformed the racetrack. They got racy right away. Rafael Matos got a bit of the chrome horn there from Marco Andretti. No harm, no foul. It was just practice, but people knew this was the day they had to get it done. In qualifying, unfortunate for Mike Conway. He already had a time that would have advanced him to the next group, but he got into the tires, didn't really damage the car, but he lost his fastest speed. Getting up to the final group in the top 6, Ryan Hunter-Reay making his debut for Andretti Autosport, and a brand new debut for a new team. Alex Tagliani qualified on the front row. Fantastic results, and maybe not surprising, the master of street and road course qualifying, Dario Franchitti, put it on the top of the podium.
So for the first time ever, the IZOD IndyCar Series qualify and will race in the same day. The 24-car field led by defending series champion Dario Franchitti. The top 6 represented by 5 different teams. Only Andretti Autosport has 2, and 6 different countries. One home country driver, Tony Kanaan. Jack is with the guy who has picked up right where he left off last year. Jack?
Well, Bob, the winner of the first Peak Pole Award for the season is Dario Franchitti. And Dario, let's go back 24 hours ago. You were pretty outspoken about the condition of this racetrack. Now, how about it?
Absolutely, but a lot of work went into it last night from the organizers, and got to take my hat off to Brian Barnhart, because he had some pretty big attachments to cancel qualifying, make the call that he did to cancel qualifying, and they spent all night fixing that thing. I think the 2-seater was out at 5 o'clock this morning fixing the track. So I really think I've got to take my hat off to them. But for us, the target car was struggling yesterday, and Dixie was just flying. So we sat and we worked it out, and everybody.
You're not telling me you stole his setup for this qualifying, did you?
No, actually I didn't. We went completely the other way, because what Scott likes I generally don't like. So we went the other way, and it really worked. Although I did steal his technique at turn 10 there, so I've got to thank him for that.
Real quickly, what will the configuration of the car for the race be comparable to what just won you the pole?
It's a good question. We haven't got much time to fix it, but obviously the big passing spots at the end of these 2 very long straights, so we have to decide whether we're going to trim out or not. We're not sure yet.
Bob, that's one of the facts of the day. When you qualify on the same day that you have to run the race, how many adjustments can you make?
Exactly, Jack. So will 2010 be a repeat for the outstanding season that Target Chip Ganassi team had last year with Franchitti and Scott Dixon?
Dario Franchitti has won the 35th running of the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach.
His 11th win on an oval.
Dario Franchitti will drive into victory lane at Iowa Speedway. Scott Dixon out in front. They call him the Iceman, and once again, he is in victory lane. Dario Franchitti started on pole, and Dario Franchitti will go to Edmonton with the IndyCar Series Championship lead.
Scott Dixon, his 5th win of the season.
Dario Franchitti is back, and he is a champion in 2009.
5 wins for both of the drivers last year, with a big win, of course, for Dario at the closer at Homestead Miami Speedway that gave him his second IZOD IndyCar Series championship. The Brazilian crowd has turned out in huge numbers for this event, the first on South American soil for the IZOD IndyCar Series, hoping that one of their own will take the checkered flag first today.
São Paulo, Brazil. Coming back in the streets of São Paulo, the place that I actually start racing, and having my family, my friends there, giving the opportunity for the Brazilian fans to see what the American fans are able to see all the time over there.
The Americans won't get any sympathy. I mean, they're going to be all for the Brazilians, and maybe they see a Brazilian win.
My family will be there, everybody's going to be there, so a lot of expectation.
It means a lot. I raced in São Paulo basically my whole childhood. Coming back now will bring back a lot of my memories for sure.
I can't wait. I just can't wait to be on the race, our first of a season and in Brazil.
Is the annual festival in Brazil commemorating the 40 days of Lent leading up to Easter. It's similar to Mardi Gras here in the U.S. In Sao Paulo, the event takes place at the Sambadrome beginning in February and is the most famous holiday in Brazil, accounting for 70% of its annual tourism. It just so happens that the Sambadrome area is the section of racetrack at the start-finish line. There'll be no parades today, but hopefully a lot of excitement for the fans. Will Power will start 5th today in the Verizon Team Penske entry. His 2009 season included a big up, but also a big down.
Will Power has been the man to beat this weekend, and Team Penske has been the team to beat. The yellow car running all by his lonesome in only his 5th start, driving for Penske, a dominating performance, and he has won the Rexall Edmonton Indy.
Nelson Philippe got off track at turn number 4. Will Power comes over the hill and makes heavy contact with the right side of Nelson Philippe's car. Will Power has compression fractures at L2 and L4 in his back and a concussion. Both are expected to fully recuperate.
Well, Will Power is... Well, Bob, the winner of the first Peak Pole Award for the season is... Well, Will Power is back, and back with a vengeance, with a full season on his calendar with the Penske Verizon team. But Will, simply to get out and qualify today was quite a challenge for you. What happened?
Yeah, you know, full credit to the guys to get that car pulled apart, the whole gearbox, change something and get it back out in a matter of probably 40 minutes. So we were lucky to get out there, really happy to get to the Fast 6. And I think it's tough if you have to do the Fast 6 and then go race. I think the other guys who didn't make it have a little bit of an advantage.
Let's talk for a moment about the way you see this race unfold. The fact that, you know, you're qualifying and practicing, and basically this is the first time everybody's got to see the track. You kind of wash out yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, this is unique the way that's been done today. You know, I think the race today is going to be really good. It's going to be tough because I think there's going to be a lot of passing. Very tiring because it's hot, and you'll probably see a lot of mistakes from people. So,
well, what is it going to take for Will Power to win?
Man, I think it's just going to be a good strategy, no mistakes, and have everything go right on the day.
Good luck, Will.
Thank you very much.
Will accounted for one of the wins for the Roger Penske team last year. Ryan Briscoe finished 3rd in points, Elio 4th, even though he missed the first race of the year. Well, there is no more Andretti Green racing in the IZOD IndyCar Series. It's Andretti Autosport. It will be a 4-car team, but hopefully with better results from last year.
Rio de Janeiro.
The country of Brazil will be hosting the 2016 Olympic Games. That announcement made last October. adding to a busy slate of sporting events, including the 2014 World Cup of Soccer and, of course, today's IZOD IndyCar Series event in the streets of São Paulo. 24 drivers waiting for the start of today's race just a few minutes away. 2009 was not a stellar season for Andretti Green Racing. No wins for the team last year, but 3 of the 4 drivers did finish in the top 10, and the 4th was 11th in points. But now Michael Andretti is sole owner of the team and trying to turn things around. Moments ago, Jack caught up with